will be much better for them. But overall, apart from the inability to bowl the right lines every once in a while, I think they've made the switch that they needed to, which is that fuller length that I think takes wickets. There he goes again, but again down the leg side. And this, unfortunately, is going to be 5 runs. Goes all the way to the boundaries. So on 2 consecutive deliveries, the U.S. has conceded 8 runs and not bowled a legal delivery. So 10 runs already from the over with 3 balls to be bowled, easily the most expensive of the overs so far. And unfortunately for the U.S., 10 extras, most of those occurring within the last 5 deliveries. So you're going to want to clean that up if you're the U.S. Actually, 37% of the runs that have been scored by Wales so far have been scored in extras. Very full, bang on target, and defended in front of the stumps. That is more along the lines of what you'd be looking for if you're Mohsin Khan. So just 2 balls remaining here in the 6th. Of course, we're still in the first power play. The first power play goes for 15 overs. So the first 15 overs or the first 90 balls, you can have a maximum of 3 fielders allowed outside the circle. Slower, wrapped on the pad and gone! Yet another delivery that is full and straight. And umpire Tremaine Prescott once again taking a decent amount of time, but raising that finger, and the fuller deliveries have resulted in 3 wickets, all leg before wickets. So the umpires have been involved directly in all the decisions so far that have resulted in wickets. And unfortunately for Wales, Mike Khan is dismissed full and straight, wrapped on the pad. Really, I think that was more the toe. It was really full, maybe a Yorker length delivery, and easily thought about by umpire Tremaine Prescott and finally given as a wicket. So the 3rd wicket goes down, 3rd wicket inside of 6 overs. This is brilliant bowling here by the U.S. Take away the fact that they've had 10 extras, take those away, and you still are looking at, even with the extras, a great start. 27 for 3, could be much worse without those extras, but still 3 big wickets taken. And if you're the U.S., you're going to be really happy with the way that things are right now.
So, Brian, Jamal here. I think it's an awesome bowling pitch, and what I see is the bowlers are very disciplined, bowling straight, not giving anything for the batsman, and they have to work hard here to get the runs. It's going to be a tight score, I think. It won't be like a big score. As you know, the pitch is playing uh, pretty good, and if the bowlers are bowling to their field, it's going to be very tough for the batsman to score runs. So far, we have seen, as you said, a couple of wides. I think apart from that, they've been very disciplined.
Completely. So 1 more ball remaining here in the 6th. New batter is Mal Madura Singh, another left-hander. So left-handers dominate the middle order for the Welsh. Lets this one go by outside off stump. And that is the end of 6. A successful over, another successful over for the Americans and Mohsin Khan. And at the end of 6, the score is 27 for 3. 27 for 6. Mal Madura Singh just at the crease. Just faced that 1 ball that went for a dot. David Adams was also, well, he came in just before Madura Singh. So 2 relatively new, in fact, 2 brand new batters to the crease. 27 runs means that they're actually scoring at a decent rate. They're scoring at the rate of 4.5 and over. But what's going to concern them more than anything else is those 3 wickets lost. And the swing bowlers for the USA team have essentially both been bang on target so far. And they're going to want to make sure that they continue along that same vein. Here's Humayun Bashir again for his fourth over. Wrapped on the pad, half-hearted appeal this time. Even from our angle, we're not exactly square of the wicket or in line with the stumps. But from around the wicket, bowling those in-swinging deliveries, I think it's pretty clear that that would have been heading down the leg side. But still a dot ball. So good effort so far by Humayun Bashir. Here he is again. Playing off the back foot, sneaks through that slip cordon. Fielder at gully. It's Chintan Patel, I believe. Not able to stop that one. I checked that was Mohsin Khan. Mohsin Khan, number 7. You don't see very many opening fast bowlers fielding at gully. So I was a little bit incorrect there. My apologies, but still a single taken. Ball coming off the outside edge, and Mohsin Khan not wanting to do much, or not able to do much, not able to prevent that single. Full delivery. That's that full length that Humayun Bashir bowls, and generally bowls a really good Yorker. He usually goes to the Yorker at the back end of the innings where he gets that ball full and straight, and he got a couple of wickets like that in the match on Wednesday. But in this occasion, looking for that Yorker, and well defended in the end by Madhur Singh. Another full delivery, almost kind of late on that shot was Madhur Singh, defending it into the covers for no run. So this is good disciplined stuff by the Americans. If they get this line, if they get the line right and they're not bowling any wides, they've proved very difficult to get away. There's not much coming off of the bat. Once again, 28 runs is the score, but 10 of those 28 have been via extras. And punched to mid-wicket. You hear the loud no from the non-striker David Adams. This is a good over in progress. Just one ball remaining, and 1 run has been conceded from this over so far. So you're doing exactly what you want to do if you're the Americans. Limit that scoring, keep that ball nice and full, and start the process of building pressure. That's definitely the game plan is working so far. Slower delivery through the air, tossed up almost like an off break, and well handled by Madhur Singh, just defending it into the offside. 1 run coming from that over. Successful over Humayun Bashir. 4 overs, 1 maiden, and 1 for 15 are his numbers so far. At the end of 7.
Yeah.
Score is 28 for 3.
So Brian, just want to give an update. As you know, the other games are also going. Good thing.
Going down here for no cricket. Every day literally has had a 90% chance of rain.
Yes, I do agree with you on that. Yes.
But we had a full match, maybe reduced by 3 overs on Wednesday. And thus far, even with the rain in the forecast and overcast conditions, we still have a match ongoing here. Look at that delivery.
Awesome ball. Excellent delivery.
He is finding that line, and once again, once you get that line right, and Mohsin Khan himself swings it away from the lefties, and so 2 lefties on strike, there is no doubt that that line is, once he gets it right, it becomes really difficult to negotiate because it's late swing, and with the keeper keeping up to the stumps, Parakananta, the batter is not able to come forward and sort of try to negate that swing. So these are going to be really difficult decisions. And that fielder slip, I think, is going to be in place sometime soon.
And as I said, he's a very dangerous bowler too, and he's a wicket taker, you know. And the way he is swinging the ball and is on the dot, you know, on the money.
Bang on target. Absolutely bang on target, and that's what you want to see. He generally is a good swing bowler, but under these conditions, overcast, cloudy, bit of rain around, those are the types of conditions where he can be absolutely deadly. So here he is again, bowling to David Adams. Oh, look at the bounce on that. Parakananta up on his toes. Would have taken that one around chest height, even from that full length, but it was played into the offside, so no run. So 5 dots on the trot so far. Looking to close out strongly here because the USA cricket team is now starting to build that pressure. You can definitely feel the pressure building because not a lot is coming off of the bat for the Welsh team. They're going to want to make sure that they're able to negotiate or manufacture some way to get some runs. Slightly short and pull to mid-wicket. Yes is the call, and the fumble at mid-wicket results in a second run. Fasal is not going to be happy with that effort, and they jog through for the second run. So that spoils the maiden.
As,
At the
as
end, oh, in fact, it's one more ball
one
left.
over
My
the, as
apologies.
you know, the ground is a little bit, the pitch is a little bit on the higher side, and it's a slope. So probably he slipped on that, because it's a sliding to his left. So next ball.
Next delivery, full and driven back to the bowler himself. Feels well in his follow through.
He just
That is good work.
excellent feeling. He just dived to his right and then stopped it, and that would have been a 4, I would say.
Well, I don't know if it would have been a 4. In fact, he's limping. That might have come off of his foot, which obviously never feels good. The outfield here is very thick. I noticed that walking across the grass this morning. Number one, the grass is thick. Number two, with all the rain in the area recently, the outfield itself is very soft to the touch. So I don't know
He
that would have
is
gone.
he's in pain. I think he probably twisted his ankle. He is looking for ice immediately. He looks like he has pain. He can see it. Immediately he's come and he's taken the shoes off and to keep ice on top. It's not good news for Team USA. The substitute is in for Moshi. He's one of the star bowler. They don't want to lose him like this. Hopefully he'll recover soon and come back and bowl.
So
I think there is a bowling change. I believe Shahba is coming.
that is a bowling change. The bowler now coming from the southern end is Saeed Shanawaz.
Yep.
Saeed Shanawaz, right arm, medium pacer from the Dallas area these days. Very experienced cricketer, experienced administrator, and let's call him an all-around good guy. But he's not going to be called on to be a good guy here. He's going to be called on to take wickets. And he will be bowling to Malik. Is more of a conventional swing bowler. So he'll be swinging it into the left-handers. He's bowling from over the wicket, which is an angle that I prefer because the angle across the batter comes into play, and that in-swinger from over the wicket also comes into play. Very full and driven back to the bowler himself. That's a good start. That's the exact line that you want to be on. And again, those full lengths, I think, are the ones that will be more helpful and more successful for you. It's a short run up, full toss, clipped to mid wicket. That is good work by Chintan Patel. A throw to the non-strikers, and my goodness, pounced all over that ball and threw very quickly. Has to be said, that's a good piece of running. Those two batters.
But Ryan, to say if the thrower hit the stump, he's out. He was way outside. He couldn't. That was a good fielding and good stop and throw it on his left arm. As you know, Chintan is a left arm. He just barely missed the stumps.
Defended in front of the stumps. That's a good point because what that does to the batters is has them think, okay, I can't hit the ball to that guy again and run a quick single. And so that automatically has the effect of being in the batters' heads. And they're going to want to make sure that, okay, that guy we can't run a quick single to. I know everybody out here is over 50 years old, but we have to be more sort of judicious with where we get those runs from. This one is clipped to mid-wicket for a single. So Chana was once again the experienced and outstanding administrator, long-time administrator at both the local levels in Dallas as well as on the national scene. That is a great ball. That is an absolutely great delivery. That line, maybe just a fourth stump line, and a good take by Parakanantha, keeping up to the stumps once again. And just 2 balls remaining here in this Syed Shanawaz's third or first over. Similar type of delivery. You hear the grunting behind the stumps. And in fact, I was incorrect. That was the last ball of the over. So good over by Syed Shanawaz. Just 1 run coming from it, that 1 single that we talked about. So at the end of 9, score is 32 for 3. Well, that's a really good sign for the USA. Mohsin Khan to continue. So he limped off. Thought he might have been injured. And in fact, he was injured, but obviously the injury is not as bad as a 50-plus-year-old man. He will feel it much more later on this evening. But as of right now, he appears to be able to continue bowling what has so far been for him a really good spell.
I would
So
say,
far, 4 overs, 2 for 15 with no maidens.
I would say, Brian, it would take 24 hours.
24? It may not be 24, believe me. Once the adrenaline wears off, he'll start feeling it this evening.
I understand.
So here he is again.
Oh!
That delivery.
Amazing delivery.
Looking to cut, maybe just a little too close to David Adams for him to try to cut that one away.
Amazing ball, amazing ball.
Taking that one, it's a good take by Parakanantha. And that pressure being built, the last 5 overs have only yielded 20 runs. Oh! Now this time David Adams, instead of trying to cut, was looking to just run that behind point. That is a dangerous choice of options for a shot when you have the keeper up to the stumps, a first slip and a gully all in position, waiting for that type of delivery. Plus, as I mentioned, the outfield is very quick or very thick, so you're not going to get a boundary running that ball behind point like that. So some thinking to do here for David Adams. I don't know that that's the best choice of shots to play under these circumstances, but due to really good bowling by the Americans. Now this is a shorter delivery, much shorter in fact, and it almost seemed to catch David Adams by surprise. So good bowling here by the Americans on this occasion. This is Mohsin Khan, and he truly is bowling a good spell, even with the injury that he suffered not too long ago. Still able to get that ball doing what he wants it to do. Next delivery, down the leg side and another wide. So there had been a few deliveries without a wide, but once again, umpire Tremaine Prescott raising those arms. 33 for 3 after 9.3. So the overall run rate has come down dramatically. It was up around 5 for a while. It's now down to 3.47 as the Americans settle into a good line and length. Mohsin Khan again. Short of a length and pulled through mid-wicket. That's going to be at least 2, I think. Yep, they come back for the second, and that is Faisal Alam skipping across and getting that ball to, well, I don't think it was going to run away to the boundary. The outfield is too thick for that, but still, those 2 runs will be welcomed by David Adams and the Welshman. And now just 2 deliveries remaining here in the 10th. in what so far has been a really good start for the Americans. 3 wickets inside 9 overs. A great start for them. And this one is just defended. In fact, it sounded like it might have come off the pad, the thigh pad of David Adams. But still no run, and just 1 ball remaining.
I think what Wales are doing right now is trying to build a partnership. David Adams and Madhura Singh. They're trying to consolidate the middle order now. To see how far they can take. I think run rate is not their highest priority right now.
Appeal. I think what might have saved David Adams at times that he was far forward. So you create doubt in the mind of the umpire when you're able to do that. So good on him. That's good batting. But another good economical over by the Americans. A dot ball to finish things here in the 10th. After 10, score is 35 for 3.
Excellent bowling by the USA team. As you know, they did a very good job against the West Indies B team the other day, and they're continuing to bowl in the same form. It is a good news, for the USA team, and they're keeping it very tight. So Moshin Khan is walking out to take a break, I think, and we have a substitute. Sunny is back into the team. So he's on the long on for the left-hander. Adams. Oh, sorry.
Oh, Syed China was back into the attack. Oh! Looking to dab this down around the corner. Once again, that's, I don't think, the best choice of shots. With the ball swinging around and a slip and a gully in a backward point in position. Madhura Singh, so far, starting to try to take his time to get into his innings, but it's not easy with the bowling of the Americans. Appeal, half-hearted appeal. But I think Shahnawaz himself knew that might have not, that at best might have been an optimistic appeal. So convincing, but still not out. These umpires have been asked to make several decisions today that we can tell I think they're doing well handling those types of decisions. But this is stroked. Oh, good diving effort there by Faisal Alam. Coming across to extra cover, not able to quite get that one right, but at the end of the day, it just is another dot ball. So good stuff. This is really good, accurate bowling by Shahnawaz and the Americans. Next delivery.
Amazing ball. Excellent bowling. Excellent bowling. As you know, Brian, sun is slowly coming out right now. It's a good news. It's a little bit cloudy and hazy, but slowly I feel sun's coming through those clouds, breaking through those clouds.
Next delivery, plays it off the back foot and behind point, possibly for 2. Yep, they get 2 easily. The agonizing shouts of catch it, but that spoils what was a really good over for Syed Shahnawaz. 2 runs coming from it. So at the end of 11, scores 37 for 3.
I would say it's a smart bowling. He was trying to give some room for the batsman and to take a wicket. And I think it was lucky it went through between the fielders. I think that was a good bowling, smart bowling, I would say.
Completely. By the way, if you're joining us on our YouTube channel, there is a chat box. And for those of us who are here in Barbados who have to talk for the next 8 hours, if you felt like dropping a line or dropping a comment in the YouTube chat box, we'd love to hear from you. Just give us a shout, let you know where you're listening from. And exactly. exactly what you think about what you're seeing. And already has one comment.
Yeah, that's good news.
Good to hear you on the mic, Brian. Well, good to be heard on the mic. I will tell you that
So
the
Brian,
facility here in Barbados is a fantastic one. And even under really rainy conditions that it's been in the southeastern Caribbean at this time of the year, still has the ability to produce really nice cricket matches. So good to see.
that awesome. Brian, I think there's another bowling change. Raj Badre is coming to bowl.
Okay.
And Mohsin is, as you know, is resting due to his ankle. Looks like he's still in pain. He's trying to put some ice on it. Hopefully, he'll get better.
Well, sometimes when you pick up an injury as a bowler, I mentioned it earlier, your adrenaline is pumping and you're not quite feeling it as much. But once you stop bowling and maybe you're standing in the field for a while, then you start realizing exactly how much
Yes.
that injury is bothering you. And let's just hope that Mohsin is able to negotiate that injury successfully, and hopefully if he stays on the field and continues moving around, that would be a good sign.
So Raj is coming in for the bowl. Is off spinner, lighted deliveries. First ball for Adams.
Defended back down the wicket. That's a good start by Raj Badadari. A couple more comments coming in that I absolutely love to see. First of all, a comment from the one that says, good to hear you on the mic, Brian, was my friend Will from, appeal for an LBW, but lives in Dallas.
Hi, Will.
Ghazi says hello from Bangladesh. Good to
Hey,
have
Ghazi.
you. Ghazi, wonderful to hear you.
Yes.
Slower through the air and defended. This is David Adams taking time to get into his work. And Roy says he's watching from Wales. Roy,
Welcome,
good
Roy.
to have you. Absolutely good to have you, and it's good to see the players from Wales, but just walking around, there's a couple of tourists who are apparently from Wales, and they stop by to watch the cricket also. So really good to see that representation around. Another appeal for LBW, another comment from Will, King Willie from Allen, Texas.
Awesome, Willie.
It's really good bowling so far. The spinners have
What was that?
Another appeal. We have an appeal from the commentator's box of all places, where Jamal is not only commentating, but he's also appealing.
I'm excited for the delivery. Because, as you know, it's very, very difficult to play Rajbhai. I have played him, and he is very tempting to hit, and he is very accurate in his stump-to-stump bowling. And he's got a lot of wickets. So that's the reason why I was excited.
You mean the reason why
Sorry
you
about
appealed?
that. Sorry about that.
So Raj Badadara with his first over. Good over for him.
It's good that I think Adam and Matadari is taking the time to build the innings here, partnership. It's good for Wales.
Absolutely. So Syed Shan was back into the attack. And this is going to be a quick single take and throw coming in from backward square from Chintan Patel. Chintan Patel, I think it's fair to say that he is probably, and if you think I'm wrong on this, Jamal, correct me, I would think he is the fittest and most agile of the players on the field. Do you disagree?
He is one of the fittest, I think I would say. We have Fazal Alam, Sunny, and then Sanjeeva, and I would say even Humayun are all in their 50s, but I would say they're one of the best sportsmen, and they work really hard on the field and off the field for these tournaments. So it's good to see friends before the game, and everybody was talking about the fitness, like English players, Wales, Canadian, and West Indies. It it's like a second innings for everybody, you know. So look at the dive
Good diving effort there
from
from
Fazal Alam. That's what I was
Fasal.
saying.
Yep.
He's one of the best fielder on, you know, and they'll just give their 100%, you know, to stop the ball.
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
One way that you can tell the fitness of the Americans, not only in the field, but when they're batting, they score a very high percentage of their runs in singles. And that might not sound like a big stat, but sometimes at this stage of your career, it's either a block or a big hit. But if you can pick up those singles and look to sort of manufacture runs by negotiating the strike and rotating the strike, that to me speaks a lot to your fitness, and it also speaks to your dedication as a cricketer to be able to do that.
And it also puts pressure on the bowling team.
I would agree with that. Oh, half-hearted appeal by Shah. Shahnawaz not able to convince umpire Sheena Welch that that was anything close to being a wicket.
I think it's probably bouncing high and
Oh,
probably over the wickets, I think.
definitely bouncing high. No shot offered, but
Yeah.
if it's bouncing, it would probably have been passing the wickets at about 8 feet in the air. So no appeal there. Looking to pull that one away down the leg side, but late on the shot was David Adams. So a dot ball yet again. The last 5 overs have yielded 13 runs. The overall run rate down to 3.42. And the score is 41 for 3. Back to comments. Roy watching from Wales. Diane Williams is watching from Pontar. Diane, please forgive me. I'm not going to be able to pronounce the name of that town properly. But she's in Swansea, Wales. Say hi to the Bunt boys on holiday watching cricket. David Marty agrees with me that the spinners are coming into play. I think the spinners are going to have a huge job to do here. Once the ball stops swinging, that's certainly going to be something to pay attention to.
So that's a break, Brian. They're taking a break. And I do see Jivaka on the chat as well. Good morning, Jivaka. Thanks for watching the game. I see David Martel as well. They're also from LA. And as you know, Jivaka is a test player for Sri Lanka. And he's represented the USA team as well. And David Martel, again, he's one of the best left-arm bowler. And he represented USA 60 in the World Cup recently in Australia.
Outstanding.
He's one of a difficult bowler to bat against, and I see a lot of people online. Thanks everyone. I see Meher Gandhi as well. Good morning, Meher. Thanks for joining. Good to see all the people around the world coming and watching this game. I'm going to take a break and we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Welcome back to the Police Sports Club right here in beautiful Barbados. We're in the parish of St. Michael. We are approximately 5 or so minutes away from the iconic Kensington Oval. USA versus Wales in this matchup of what is referred to as the Big Man Cricket Caribbean Cup. Big Man Cricket, a reference to the fact that all of the players are above the age of 50. And we're continuing here with Raj Badadari bowling to David. That's David Adams. My apologies. He's bowling to Malith Madura Singh. Bowling over the wicket to the left-hander. 2 dot balls to start things here in the 13th. Bring you my impressions of what's going on here in Barbados. Tossed up delivery this time and punched back to the bowler who sticks that left foot out in his follow through and is able to prevent any runs. So a relatively sedate start here so far for in the 13th over. Badadari again with his second over in progress. His first over went for, in fact, was a maiden. And he's starting so far here just 3 dot balls. Change of angle this time as he goes around the wicket, spearing it into the toes of Madura Singh. So 4 dot balls on the trot to start things here in the 13th. And under the conditions that we're playing in, I mentioned the atmosphere, the humidity, cloudiness. I thought that swing would have a big part to play in the first part of this game. This is forced off the back foot for no run. But in looking at the pitch itself, I thought that it was going to be one of those slow and low type pitches. There's a fair amount of grass on it, but it's not a very hard pitch. And so I really would anticipate that the spinners would have something to say about the proceedings here. The US, I think, has very good spinners. Just tossed up and defended in front of the stumps. Another good over. 2 consecutive overs bowled by Badadari have resulted in 2 maidens. So good bowling by him and the Americans. After 13, the score is 41 for 3. 41 for 3. Syed Chanawaz continues bowling from the southern end. His figure so far 3 overs, no maidens, none for 8. So he's continuing what really is miserly bowling by the Americans. That's a bit of a delay. Sean was, just like everybody else, was a lot quicker when he played several years ago. These days, relies more on swing than on pace. He's going to have to get a better line on his next delivery because this one speared down the leg side and rightly judged wide by umpire Sheena Welch. Very full, wrapped on the pad. Oh, having a good think about that umpire Welch, but eventually deciding that that was not going to trouble the stumps. at the risk of repeating myself, once the Americans decided or figured out that a fuller length was going to be the key, they've stuck to that length and it's worked well for them. This is stroked in the air and just out of reach of the fielder at long or mid-off. Sunny Singh coming across to his left, but not able to get to it, and that is the second boundary of the day. Haven't seen a lot of boundaries. It has to be said that the outfield here, at least where they're marked, looks to be pretty small. I would estimate that these are 50-yard boundaries that we're playing with. So even with the thick outfield, once the ball gets through that fielder mid-off, is always going to run away for 4. Slower delivery, looking to work that around the leg side, but once again another wide. So a few runs now coming in bunches. 6 from the over so far, still with 2 balls to go. Shanna was just needing to find that right line and that right length. Slower, more deliberate run up this time, and that's where he wants to be. Just on that length, drawing those batters forward. And this time David Adams just happening to work that one into the onside for a single. From around the wicket, the last delivery, defended, almost an instant replay. That's Fasal Alam in the mid-wicket area. Does the work to clean up. Oh, that might have been incorrect. I think there's 1 ball remaining. That wide. In the air and gone! Really, a nothing shot has to be said offered by David Adams, just angling that bat. I referred earlier, a couple of times just trying to run that ball behind square or behind point. But if you're going to run that ball behind point, there's not a lot of options for heavy scoring because I don't think it will run all the way to the boundary. And this time just ending up guiding it, just directly guiding it into the hands of Gully. Another wicket goes down. Welsh are 47 for 4.
That's a good break. I told you that's the ball he was trying to bowl, to give him some room to hit it. And the batsman, once he get a chance, he couldn't beat the fielder this time around. So that was an excellent bowling by Shah.
Well, I have to say that the credit for that wicket does not go to Syed Chanawaz. It does not go to the fielder who caught the ball. The credit for that wicket goes to Kashif Rana, who commented online a couple of minutes ago, "Good going, guys. 1 more wicket here. It will be tough for them to score 120. Well, Kashif, you got the wicket that you asked for. Syed Chanawaz with the delivery. David Adams guiding that ball directly into the hands of the fielder at backward point. And in fact, that wicket was taken by Raj Badadari with the catch at Gully. And so 4 wickets are now down. We're still inside the first power play, but I don't think the field setting right now indicates much of what you'd think is a consideration for power play. You're only allowed 3 outside the circle, but nowhere close to that number outside the circle for the U.S., with the exception of Humayun Bashir down at long on. Everyone else is inside the circle. And that's Badadari now continuing around the wicket, bowling to Madhura Singh. So Welsh with a little bit of a wobble. 4 wickets are down inside the power play. And I think things are going to get more and more difficult from here. In the air and straight enough that it does not threaten any option of being caught. But still, Humayun Bashir running around from his position at long on and preventing anything other than a single. So once again, another left-hander to the crease. The middle of this Welsh lineup is all left-handers. This is Kerry Chahal. Chahal back and looking to work that away on the leg side. Doesn't make much contact. And Parakananta is there to prevent what could potentially have been a single. Chahal mentioned another left-hander. With the exception of the openers, everybody in this lineup for the Welsh is a lefty. Going back on his back foot, and he works it through mid-wicket to get off the mark.
I think I would say it's a very good captaincy by Parag. Changing the bowlers and keeping the field very tight, not giving any singles, which put the pressure on the Wales batsmen, and they finally got that wicket.
Oh,
Again, that's an
there's
excellent
another
work by
wicket gone.
yeah,
Another
the wicket.
What a
Excellent work
beautiful
by
delivery.
Parag.
Beautiful delivery, outside off, turning away from the left-hander. Got him reaching forward, and he reaches over, stumbles out of his crease, and yet another wicket gone as Parag Anantha does the quick work to effect the stumping. So the fifth wicket goes down. 5 wickets down with only 49 runs on the board. And this is a brilliant start for the Americans.
Excellent work by Parag to take the experienced batsman. So that was an excellent bowling, and he made him come up the field, and then he beat the batsman. So Malita Madhurasinghe was unlucky; he couldn't hit the ball. He was beaten, and Parag was very quick to stump him. Excellent work by Parag, and that's the break they were looking for, and hopefully Wales will try to consolidate and build a partnership here.
Well, as a left or as a right-handed off-spinner bowling to a left-hander, you're doing exactly what you want to do. Drift the ball in from around the wickets and have it pitch and straighten to threaten the outside edge. And that's exactly what was done that time by Parakananta. Sorry, by Badadari. And then Parakananta completing really what for him is a pretty straightforward stumping. So the last ball of this over coming up and reaching out and playing that one. I think it tickles off the outside edge and they'll get a single. That is the last ball of the 16th.
Over.
Check that, the 15th. At the end of 15, the first power play is done and dusted. 3 runs coming from it, and importantly, for the Americans, another wicket. Scores 49 for 5. Or 50 rather for 5.
Yeah, I have it. Let me share.
So Syed Chan wants to continue his figure so far. 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 14. And he will be bowling to the new batter, John Jones. Jones has only faced 1 ball, a ball which he scored off of to complete the last over. So now he's on strike. We're into the second power play, where you can have as many as 4 outside the circle, but only 1 outside the circle as of right now. That seems to be Kuldeep Patel down at third, deep third. There's a man at fine leg, maybe just inside the circle or maybe just outside. But overall, a very aggressive field set by the Americans. Outside off, Jones looking to cut this away and not making contact. There's a slip fielder in position who is going to keep his eyes open for that type of shot selection. is Sanjiro Wirasinge, who is at slip, a deep slip, it has to be said. Oh, look at this. Good line Shahanawaz staying on that off stump line, maybe that fourth stump line. And this time, John Jones choosing to lose or to leave that ball alone. Working quickly here, Shahanawaz. Oh, once again looking to cut. So 4 consecutive dot balls to start the 16th. All of them have been on that fourth stump line. They've all been just short of length. And so far, John Jones not able to get any bats on these. Slower through the air this time, played into the covers. That's a good stop. Humayun Bashir does the work there to make sure that no run is scored. And so 50 is the score. 3.19 runs and over is what is being scored right now. Make that 3.16 with that after that dot ball. Very full, wrapped on the pad. And umpire Sheena Welsh disagrees with the appeal. Shakes her head, but a good over. Another maiden, or a maiden. That's the first maiden bowled by Syed Chanwaz. His 5 overs so far have only cost 14 runs. And the Welshmen are 50 for 5. So Raj Badadari to continue bowling from the north end. He's bowling 2. Kerry Chahal. Around the wicket. Off spinner. Chahal off the back foot. Punches it through the covers. They'll get 2. Long run down there. That is Satipal Chabra, who had to make the 30 or so yard run from the covers to prevent that ball from going forward. Looking to force it off the back foot, and it goes to backward point. Sorry, to that one fielder at slip. Once again, slow it through the air and turn around the corner for a single. So halfway through the 17th over. This is a good start by the Americans, but it has to be said, a good over so far for the Welshmen. They're trying to get something going. This is just defended in front of the stumps by Jones. Next ball, looking to work this away. Yes. Oh, he gave them! Absolutely looking to work that away on the leg side. And almost a half-hearted appeal, I thought. But umpire Tremaine Prescott thinking about it and then raising the finger. So this is not as emphatic an appeal, but he thinks about it long enough and then raises the finger. So that is 6 wickets down. All of a sudden, we're looking at what might be a relatively short match. Remember, these are 45 over matches. We're only into the 17th over, and already half the side is back in the hut for the Welshmen.
That's right. It's they've been forced to bat, and again USA has been very disciplined in bowling today, and they didn't give any big partnership except Adam and the other batsmen, I think. And as you know, I just want to give an update on the other games going on. As you know, India versus West Indies.
3 for 6. With still another 27 overs to go after this one. 27 overs on 1 ball. So obviously it is very much the case that Wales is going to, I think, have trouble batting out the innings, but that has to be their target right now. Just even if they absorb 3, 4, 5 maidens in a row, they have to be able to bat through the innings. You don't want to leave balls unbowled, but it's going to be a really stiff order at this stage for them to be able to bowl all the way or to bat all the way through the innings. Half of their side, more than half their side already back in the pavilion. And this next delivery, the last ball of the 17th, is just defended into or back down the pitch for a dot ball. So another successful over, 3 runs from that over, 1 wicket. And at the end of 17, the score is 53 for 6.
I think, as I said, Raj is a very, very, dangerous bowler. So if you can see the score, he bowled 4 overs, 2 maiden, 6 runs and 2 wickets. And this is what I was saying. He's be very easy. As a batsman, you think you're going to hit him, but it's not that easy when you're playing. I've faced his ball. I know exactly how he bowls. And that's the beauty about Raj, and as a player, from Wales, they're trying to stay on and try to continue the momentum. Right now, my thinking is that if I'm Wales, I need to just hold on and build a partnership here. That.
Certainly building a partnership is important. What you want to do is just make sure that you're able to bat through the innings. By the way, my apologies. I said the 17th over a second ago. It's actually, we're into the 18th over, or the 18th
Done.
is done.
Yeah.
We're into the 19th. 1 delivery in the 19th. The batters are Kerry Chahal, 5 from 6. And Mark Donovan, the new batter, he has faced 1 delivery and has not yet scored.
I think we have a lot of comments from our friends around the world. I think, when you get a chance, you can acknowledge them.
Chan was so far 5.1 overs, 1 for 15. Here he's now bowling outside off. I'll tell you what, that's a good piece of work at slip. Ball evaded. Parakanantha, who's keeping up to the stumps.
Sanjeeva was the fielder there on first.
Sanjeeva, very experienced cricketer from Sri Lanka. And the USA, of course, completely on the attack. Every single fielder now inside the circle. Good delivery. Another really, really good delivery. This is good stuff.
Excellent keeping by Parag as well, Brian. As you see, it was very fast, and he has to jump to his right and hold on to the ball. That was an excellent keeping as well, I would say.
It's a great piece of keeping. He's kept up to the stumps to all the bowlers except for the opening bowler, Humayun Bashir. And this is a thick outside edge that runs down toward the boundary. They'll get 2 runs. That is a good delivery, finding the outside edge, but still 2 more runs.
I think that's bias too.
Or was it? Signal was biased. My apologies. So signal was biased by the umpire. Next delivery. Oh, look at this. Looking to run that behind square, but once again, leaving the bat at that angle in that position may not be the best choice of shots.
So, Brian, one thing I want to highlight today with bowling from USA, if you look at that, there's 1, 2, 3.
Just a second before we get back to that short delivery,
Okay.
pulled around the corner. Long run down there, and it gets through.
No, it's still.
In fact, it's still in play, but they run through for a couple. So short going down the leg side. That's the first time that we've seen the seamers in a long time go to the short ball. Usually the fuller deliveries have been the ones that are working for them. So conceding a couple of runs to close things out here in the 19th. And at the end of 19, the score is 57 for 6.
Yeah, so what I was trying to say, Brian, is we have 4 LBWs, right? And then 1 catch, and then 1 stumping. So that's 6 wickets. So that says the USA bowlers are bowling on the stumps, straight stump to stump bowling.
Under these conditions, that's sort of what you have to do. You don't get the sense that there's going to be a lot of stroke play on either side. What you're wanting to do as a bowler is just make sure that they play you straight and play you off of the stumps. And I think that certainly has been what has happened so far. And you're more than able, if you're the USA cricket team, to continue doing that because the spinners are doing the work. This is now fourth on the job for Parag Ananta and the rest of the Americans. Celebrating, he thought that that was out, but umpire Sheena Welsh disagrees with him. So Darshan Vinakota says, awesome bowling, guys. Job not done yet. I completely agree with you, Darshan, that the job is not done yet. But these players are very professional. They're a really well-oiled unit. And I don't think that Parag Ananta is going to allow them to start relaxing just yet. We do know that the job still has to be done. And their professional approach to this match so far, I think we'll take that into account. And Said Ilyas says, all the best USA, all the best Shah. A bit of an interruption in play because I believe that the bowler, or the batter rather, Mark Donovan, might have injured himself trying to dive back in on that run-out attempt. He was not able to get, I think in fact he might have jarred his shoulder diving back in. Just looking at what happened, it almost appeared that he maybe just hyperextended that shoulder diving back in to try to make his ground. And a little bit of a delay while he gets sorted out, but I think, in fact, he may have gone off. So we'll get a bit of an update on that shortly. As soon as we get some clarification on exactly what happens to him, we'll let you know. But it appeared that he walked off and looking to get going here again. In fact, I may have been incorrect, so I think he's still there. So back to the action, looking to work this off the back foot. This is Chahal still on strike. Badadari with the delivery outside, going down the leg side, looking to work that away down the leg side and not able to get any bat on it. One-handed and looking to work this away into the leg side. Go through for a single. So that brings the right-handed Donovan on strike. Tossed up, looking to work this down the leg side, missing out on a stumping there, I think, is Ananta. And I think you'll see the signal now from umpire Tremaine Prescott that that's a wide. So 2 more runs to the total. Going down the leg side, and Parag Ananta very quick behind the stumps, but not able to get this one. And so 2 runs, 2 wides to the total. The lefty back on strike. I think Badadar prefers bowling to the left-hander. This is punched down square. That's Chintan Patel in the deep. Just 3 runs coming from the over so far. Another just 11 runs from the last 5 overs. And in fact, that is the end of the over. So at the end of 20, the score is 61 for 6. Apologies, I misspoke at the end of the last over. The score, in fact, is 62 for 6. Mark Donovan 2 from 7. Kerry Chahal 7 from 11. And for the
Your bowling
first time, a
change.
bowling change coming from the southern end. This is Kuldeep Patel